In 2023, Penn State has been described and illustrated as a sleeper, as a team that could be an unexpected college football playoff team come the end of the season. And I'm going to sit here and say, I am not buying into that hype. I'm buying into the possibility that Penn State can be a really good team this upcoming season, that they're going to be playing in a New Year's Six Bowl, that they're going to have a lot of offensively explosive games. Nick Singleton is going to put himself onto the map with the performances that he's going to have on a week-to-week basis. Olu Fashanu is an incredibly talented offensive lineman. And then on the defensive side of the football, we've got guys like Kalen King and Chop Robinson, just to name a few of the superstars that they have on the defensive side of the football. But where I am, and this is a very common trend for anyone who tunes in any of my content, any of my shows that I do on this channel, I am not willing to crown a young quarterback without experience as a guy who is going to show up and dominate, or at least do enough to win games against key opponents. And for Penn State's sake, that is Ohio State and that's Michigan. That being said, I think that Allar has a fantastic arm. He has all the capability of becoming eventually a top 10 pick in the 2025 NFL draft. But I see his progression similar to what we got with J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy was a five-star recruit. He split some time with Cade McNamara in his first season. Eventually, he takes over in 2023, and he has a lot of ups and downs. His Illinois game was terrible, and then he had an amazing performance against Ohio State, and then he kind of came back down to earth again against TCU. I think that J.J. McCarthy this upcoming year is going to be amazing for Michigan. And he doesn't need to be more than slightly above average, but he has every trait in the book to be one of the better quarterbacks in all of college football. But for Drew Allar, it's going to take him a season. This isn't Caleb Williams. This isn't Drake May. We need to be patient with Drew Allar. And I don't think that he has enough to get them past more than a 10-win season because of those hurdles of having to beat Ohio State and Michigan. And as we've done before, let's take a look at their schedule and let's try to predict how things are going to turn out. They start out the season against Western Michigan. They're going to be a mess. Neil Brown's going to get fired. Not overthinking that. 1-0 start to the season. Delaware, team that I used to play when I was in college, 2-0 start to the season. It's a nice FCS opponent because they'll put up a little bit of a fight in the first quarter and then you'll kick the crap out of them the rest of the way. So it's a nice little test to start off the year. 2-0 to start the year at Illinois. This one, and I did my Illinois video, I had a lot to talk about with this. I think that the offensive explosiveness and their offensive line is going to help Penn State win this football game, even though I'm very high on the capabilities of Illinois' defense in 2023. It's tricky that they're going on the road for this, but it's not like Illinois is a school that has massive home field advantage. So 3-0 start to the year. That, I think, is going to be a really momentum-building win because of how good Illinois is and some of the talent that they have on that roster. They take on Iowa at home, which is a huge benefit. You don't have to go travel to that chasm that is Iowa, which always leads to unexpected outcomes. But I think that will lead to a 4-1 start, beating Iowa at home. At Northwestern, they're their own massive dumpster fire, 5-0 start to the season. UMass, really hard opponent there. 6-0 victory against UMass. Now at Ohio State. And if you watch the Ohio State video, if not, go back and look at that one. I think that this is going to be one of those circumstances where you're going on the road, you're feeling really high about yourself, you're 6-0 this far into the season. And we saw this happen last year. We saw this happen with an experienced quarterback in Sean Clifford, where they came out firing. They came out pissed off at home, and they came out trying to make a statement. But they were overwhelmed by a more talented roster. And I think that Ohio State is down this year, and I said this in the Ohio State video. I think that they're down from what we usually get from Ohio State. But even though that they're down, having to play this game on the road when they're trying to reestablish their footing and get momentum building in their direction, you have two young quarterbacks facing off against one another. I'm going to pick the one that has Marvin Harrison Jr. and Emeka Egbuka to throw to. Just plain and simple. So I think that this is the first loss of the season, giving them a 6-1 start to the year. After that, we transition to the back half of the schedule. Indiana, victory, no debate there. 7-1 record. At Maryland, again, I've said this a million times, I'm not in on the Talia Tagovailoa hype train. 8-1 record at that point. They then have to face off against Michigan. They do get Michigan at home. I have gone as far as to say that I think that Michigan has one of the most talented rosters in all of college football, and they bring back so much. This is a national championship contending team, and I am not going to pick against that. I just can't. I'm going to pick the more experienced overall roster over the one that is the grouping of up-and-comers. So I think Michigan wins this football game, giving them a 9-1 record. The last two games, those are easy victories. It's kind of a nice little palate cleanser facing off with Rutgers and Michigan State, giving them eventually that 10-2 record for the entire season. If you disagree with me, drop a comment below and let me know where I'm wrong. I just want to tell you folks about an exciting new partnership that we have with this channel with Underdog Fantasy. Ever since I joined, I've been having so much fun. There are so many different exciting games that make watching games during the offseason more exciting. I'm not the biggest basketball fan, but it has made it way more entertaining since I found Underdog Fantasy. And my favorite game to play so far, which I think you should try out, is Pick'em. It is so easy to play. Just pick higher or lower on your favorite player's stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night. Underdog keeps it simple with their easy-to-use website and mobile apps. Pick between 2 and 5 players to fill out your Pick'em slip. Get every pick right and take home some cold hard cash. Use code HACK, H-A-C-K, HACK, like the name of this channel. Use code HACK to get your first deposit doubled up to $100 by Underdog. Go sign up. You won't regret it. You're going to have a blast. Check out Underdog Fantasy. I also want to tell you folks about our other recurring sponsor that we have on this channel, that being BetOnline, betonline.ag, which is all the updated odds, news, and anything for sports betting. It's my go-to source for when I want to be betting specifically on games. I love betting on college basketball or the NBA, especially, again, during the offseason. Always looking for more fun ways to be focused in on some of these other sports. It's betonline.ag and use promo code BELIEVE50. It's promo code BELIEVE50 to get 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.